everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. I'm Jo Michaels, the baking author. Please excuse the noise in the background. I'm doing laundry as I cook. So today we are going to make popcorn that you guys requested I give you the recipe for. It is a caramel chocolate confetti popcorn. It's got rainbow sprinkles and all kind of fun stuff. So the things that you're going to need in order to make this is 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. Use other kind of sugar, it's really not going to work the same way. It doesn't react the same way in the pan. So you need 2 tablespoons of water. I'm tripling my batch, so I have a 1/2 cup of water. You need 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, like at room temperature, because if you put cold butter in your caramel sauce, it's going to seize on you. You don't want that. So make sure your 2 tablespoons of butter is at room temperature. 1/4 cup measuring cup, obviously, for your 3/4 cup of sugar. Some salt. I'm using flaky sea salt. Christmas gift. Yay! Some really good melting chocolate that you can either pop in the microwave or you can melt over a double boiler. Totally up to you how you want to do that, but we're going to drizzle it all over the popcorn. It'll be yummy. Rainbow sprinkles. And this one's kind of a kicker. Okay, so you need like a big tray that you line with some parchment paper or something that doesn't stick, like a silicone mat. Popcorn. Don't use microwave popcorn for this. It's greasy and it doesn't keep well. This will actually last like 4 to 6 weeks in an airtight container. So you can ship it, you know, you can eat it, you can keep it in a bag, you can keep it in a package like Tide, whatever, it'll keep and it'll still be good. So because the microwave popcorn has all that extra stuff in it, we don't really want to use that. I have this Jiffy organic popcorn. It's just Jolly Time, gluten-free, all that good stuff, because, hey, it's corn. And then I have this Salisbury popcorn popper. It goes in the microwave, uses no oil, none of that stuff, and it actually pops popcorn really well. So if you want to pick one of these up, I think I paid like $15 for it maybe on Amazon. I'll link it below in the comments. You can grab one. We love this because we can put our own spray butter on here and season it however we want it, and it doesn't have all that preservatives and crap that the popcorn uses to cook in the, you know, microwave popcorn packs. So we know what goes into our popcorn. I'm using really good butter too. It's Kerrygold, the Irish butter. It's just unsalted. Use some really good butter for this. So the first thing that I want to do is get my popcorn popping because that really takes the longest. There are 2 lines in the bottom of here. I don't know if you can see them, but it's like 2 different things of popcorn. I'm going to do this probably twice and fill it all the way up to the big line. I'm making a lot of this because I'm giving some of it away. You're also going to need a big bowl, a rubber spatula, and some cooking spray. So let me get this into the microwave and we will start making our caramel. You can't really walk away from it once you start, so be ready, okay? I will be right back with you guys. I'm gonna pop this in the microwave. Be right back. Hey guys, one quick thing. The popcorn is in the microwave, but with this popcorn popper, you can't really hit the microwave like the popcorn button and walk away. Just stand nearby, and whenever it gets to about 3 to 4 seconds between pops, that's when it's done. Okay, so I usually have to add about a minute to mine. I have a GE microwave, so go by your ear, okay? All right, so that should be done soon. I'll be back with you guys in just a minute. Okay guys, my popcorn is done. As you can see, it kind of blew the lid off. This is one of the tedious parts of this recipe. I'm gonna pour this into 2 separate bowls. Oh, I didn't do that yet. Hang on a second. Ah! Okay, so I have this ginormous bowl. To keep the caramel from sticking, I'm just gonna give it a shot of cooking spray, okay? So, first things, I need like a bigger bowl. Hang on just a second. Bigger bowl. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is pour the popcorn into this bigger bowl. All right, all of it, please. Then, I'm gonna refill it and put it back in the microwave. Salisbury says don't do this because you're supposed to let it cool completely between uses, but I really don't have that kind of time today. So, I've done it before, but 2 uses is usually enough. It's silicone, so it doesn't melt or anything, and it cleans up pretty well. You just gotta rinse it, because like I said, no oil or anything. So I'm gonna pop this back in, and then we'll get to the tedious part of this recipe. did hit the popcorn button, like I said, but I do add about 30 seconds to a minute to it. It just really depends on how hot my microwave already is. All right, so your popcorn's in this little bowl. Give it a shake to kind of settle all the on top seeds to the bottom. Then you're just gonna take your hands and take that nice fluffy popcorn on top and put it into the bowl you're gonna mix with your caramel, where you're gonna mix it with your caramel. Make sure not to take any of the actual seeds, the popcorn kernels with you. It's worth it in the end, I promise. Oops, man down, man down. I could be court-martialed for that in the military. Dropping a man, leaving a man behind. But if you do happen to get seeds, like they hit the bowl, they actually make a little bit of noise. They're pretty loud. So hopefully I haven't gotten any of those kernels in the bowl. I guess we'll see when I break my teeth on it later, right? Okay, so typically you would need about 3 cups of popcorn. Again, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 2 tablespoons of water. 3 cups. Now, a lot of people are probably like, wow, what a waste of popcorn. All these extra kernels on the bottom that I'm not using. It leaves about that much, but that's about what you get in a bag. So I'm just gonna put this, like, throw it away, and I'll be right back. Our other one should be done any minute. So then we'll get to making the caramel and dressing these bad boys up. I'll see you then. Okay, I'm back. Popcorn's not quite done, however, I did want to tell you a few things. Last time we made caramel sauce. This is not caramel sauce, this is a caramel that dries in a hard crack stage. So it actually is gonna, if you put cold butter, it will seize and it will become like really hard really fast. So make sure your butter's at room temperature, A, and B, make sure you don't walk away from this because it turns that fast. Now you can add peanuts to this if you want. Add them to the caramel right whenever it's about to turn amberish. Throw your peanuts in there. Makes it a little harder to see when it's done, but why not? They're toasty, they're roasty, it's delicious. So, oh, one more thing. Spatula. I know it's a plastic spatula or a silicone spatula. I know that. I know it's not supposed to stick, but it does. So if you just take your cooking spray, the same spray you use to coat your bowl, and just spray your spatula, the stuff won't stick to it. Okay, at all. It'll slide right off. That's your cook tip 499.9872. All right. I'm gonna go add 30 seconds to my microwave. I'm gonna get a spoon to spoon out this sugar. I got these great new containers for my sugar and my flours. And I'm keeping half an ear on that popcorn just so it does not go crazy. And again, I'm tripling my recipe, so I'm gonna have 9 cups approximately of popcorn and then 2 1/4 cups of sugar. I'm just gonna throw that right in the pan. Let me grab my popcorn. It didn't quite quit popping, but it's as good as it's gonna get. It actually popped out of the bowl, so the lid is super high. Ah, you see that? Okay, so again, little bowl, big bowl. There's a reason for it. Your family will thank you later, so will your dentist. All right, into the little bowl. And yes, I could probably do this by just scraping it out of the top, but it's really hot when it first comes out, and that kind of also gives it a chance to cool. So we're doing a little bit of cheating there, letting our popcorn cool just a smidge. And don't worry about the caramel melting your popcorn. It will not happen. I still owe my pan a 1/4 cup of sugar. Don't worry, forget that. I will forget that. I'm dropping popcorn everywhere. Good thing my counters are clean today. Whew. I did a whole kitchen cleaning yesterday. This is going to be really hard to toss in this bowl with the caramel because you got to kind of stir it. But that's okay. Now once I get the caramel on the popcorn, I'm going to have to move really fast to get it over there onto those trays and get it spread out and get the salt put on it. So make sure your salt is open and ready near your trays. That way you can just start sprinkling it, and if you don't, it will just fall right off. So you want it to stick to that caramel while it's still a little bit warm. It's going to cool really fast. But once you get it on there, just let your popcorn sit for like an hour. You'll get ready to eat it. You don't want any of those hot bits in your mouth. That's why you gotta let it sit. Okay. So that's about, okay, that's more than 9 cups of popcorn, but we're gonna go with it. Whatever. Whatever. All right. Here's my 1/4 cup of sugar. Then I'm gonna close this up and move it because I do not want the hot stuff near the cold stuff. All right. Once you start this, you can't walk away from it. So be sure you have the time to sit here. It takes about 10 minutes. So be sure you have the time to sit and baby it. I'm just gonna pop my lid on here. Regular granulated sugar. I love these containers. They fit in my extra cabinet perfectly. So yay. All right, let me put this over there and then we'll get to making the caramel. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I have my 1/2 cup of water. Of course, you're going to want 2 tablespoons of water. If you are making just a single batch, pour that in our pan. Move all of that over there. I don't want to put it in my sink because it has popcorn kernels in it. And you're going to want to set your cooktop to just below medium heat. My watch is annoying me. Just below medium heat. If you're on a gas stove, my words failed me there for a minute, you're going to want to put it on exact medium heat. The reason I say a little below medium heat for a cooktop is because it retains a lot of heat, so you're going to have more heat than you really want it built. So here we go. I'm using a big pan because, like I said, it's a big batch of caramel. Use your spatula and just get it moving. And you're going to want to kind of stir it every now and then as it's just melting. Hey guys, I'm back. New pan. It's a little bit of a thinner bottom on this one, but it also tends to heat pretty evenly because it's flat. So we shall see if that makes a difference. Stirring the sugar until it is dissolved like I did with the other one, and then I'm going to leave it like I should have done with the first batch. And I'm positive it was just the pan. Again, can't be user error because I've made it twice before. So maybe I shouldn't have tripled the recipe. I don't know. We shall find out in a minute. All right, it's mixed. Now we wait. We're still over medium heat, over 5, so woe to that pan. Like I said, not a big deal. I have 50 pounds of sugar, so if your caramel becomes crystallized sugar, probably not an even heat. You may want to get a different pan or even a pot. But this is a nice wide pot. Fits right down over my burner. I'm not really sure what these are called. Can't really be like a pot. Because a pot has, you know, it's round, it has a lid, it's about the same height as it is in diameter. Very strange. So, okay, we're still over medium heat, not touching the heat. We got some nice bubbles going on. Still hasn't gone clear yet, but it's almost clear. When it goes clear enough, it looks like just water in the pan. Now it's clear. It literally just looks like bubbly water. It has no tint, no anything to it. It's bubbly water. So now I'm going to start my constant stirring. Now you're going to want to constantly stir it. And you're not really like stirring it like hard, just kind of move it around, make sure it doesn't crystallize on the bottom of your pan. That's your job. Make sure it does not crystallize on the bottom of the pan. It smells different now too. I know that sounds crazy, but before it didn't get that toasty caramel smell. Now it has that toasty caramel smell. And what I'm watching for is for the liquid to go kind of amber. Once it does that, when it darkens the color that I want it, that's when I'm going to pull it off the heat. Well, just before it darkens the color that I want it. Then I'm going to throw the butter in there, mix it in real quickly, and then pour it over the popcorn like that fast. Again, I'm trying really hard not to get it like way up on the edges of the pan because I don't want to brush it with a pastry brush because that's boring. And I don't like boring. I like fun cooking. This is better work. I'm going to be so angry if it doesn't. I have to drop back and do 2 double batches instead of a triple one. I've done double batches, I just haven't done a triple batch. So I'm really worried that also could be playing a role here. But this seems like it's doing so much better than that last one. Like just from sitting here looking at it. And it smells toasty already. The other one never really smelled toasty. It just kind of got liquidy and then kaput. But this one's starting to smell toasty, like toasted sugar. Nice. So make sure your pan has a flat bottom and gets, pretty even heat. Otherwise you're going to end up with the same thing I had there, which is just basically sugar to turn back into sugar. We're not browning yet. You guys would not believe all of the gorgeous things that I got for Christmas. You're going to be seeing them on the channel super soon. I got this nifty grater, cheese grater, that like attaches to my countertop. No! Okay guys, I'm going to do something crazy. We're going to go up to high heat here. You shall see. Because it's looking like candy, but I think that like the medium heat is like evaporating the water too much and not giving the sugar a chance to caramelize before all the water is gone. So, wish me luck. High heat I'm on. Constant stirring I'm doing. I hope that's not what I did to the other 2 batches. Law. When in doubt, Google is your friend. Yes, I did just look up why is my caramel crystallizing, and my heat was too low. At least that's what I found on that website. Anyway, now we're on high heat. And this is the same batch of water and sugar that I was using before. Whenever it went to sugar, I like added some water and re-dissolved it and just took it back to base, like back to 0, and then just started cooking it down again. So it's now like this viscous consistency, and I cranked the heat up to brown it. So hopefully that will be what we needed, like fingers crossed. I think maybe I did turn the heat up to high on the last 2 batches that I made. So oops. I also did not use a spatula for the last 2 batches. I used this whisk, so I'm going back to basics here and just whisking my heart out. I am going to need the spatula to get out of the pan, of course, but not time for that yet. This should turn any second. It's like a light brown right now, but fingers crossed, huh? I'm so glad this isn't the Great British Baking Show, because I would not have been able to Google, they take your phone away. So I don't like to mess things up. I see people in there all the time going, my God, why is my caramel not working? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, probably because they stayed on like the medium heat. All right, we're definitely changing color and my bubbles are getting less, which is a good sign. Like it's not as boobly boobly like a cauldron anymore. It's more like, hey, we're just kind of bubbling now. I'm hoping I didn't ruin it and get like a whole bunch of nasty in it by adding some water or whatever. But whatever. It is what it is. And we're going to whisk in the butter too. Now it's starting to change color. It's going to like a darker amber. Just before it gets to where I want it, I'm going to pull it off here because I don't want it to go too dark. And I'm leaving it in the pan to whisk in the butter, so I don't want it burnt. Burnt caramel is the worst flavor in the world. It has that acidity to it. Ugh. It's just nasty. But I also don't want it too light because if it's too light, it actually does not set the way it's supposed to set. And that's a bigger problem, like a different problem. So it's like a pretty medium amber color. I don't know if you guys can see it in the pan. I wish that you could. All right, my room temperature butter is going in. Be very careful. It reacts very strongly when you add the butter. And then get it to whisking because you want it to melt really fast, like before your caramel cools. You want to get that butter all incorporated. And it's going to kind of pop, so make sure you're not letting it get all over your cooktop and stuff. And this is what you should have. We're not adding cream, so it's not going to be a caramel sauce. It will actually harden. You add the cream, like the room temperature cream, and then it does not harden. So you end up with like this consistency right here. Let me ditch the whisk and go back to my spatula. Now we're going to put it on the popcorn. You can just pour it all in there. Don't worry. It will not melt your popcorn. Your popcorn's been sitting here long enough. And remember, you sprayed the bowl with cooking spray, so it should not stick there either. It's not sticking to my spatula, but it is cooling really fast. So I'm going to get in here and just kind of churn this. Now, if you just are after caramel popcorn, you can stop after you get this mixed together. That's fine. Nobody should tell you how to eat your caramel popcorn. I love it with the chocolate and the sprinkles. It just gives it that extra je ne sais quoi. Oh, my French is so good. No, it's not really. Just ask anyone in Paris. When I was there, I could not speak a lick of it. So I'm using a metal, ow. You may want to wear gloves when you do this. It does kind of get on you. I'm using a metal bowl because it kind of retains some heat once the caramel hits it. And just mix it as well as you can. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if I quit sticking my finger in the caramel, it would be good. It's very hot. I think I'm going to stick to double batches from now on, just so I don't get it all over me, because now my fingers are burned. That was nice. Luckily, it cooled really fast and peeled right off, but just be careful. And I'm kind of trying to churn some of the uncoated popcorn to the bottom because the caramel sauce ran right down the middle. Like, you can pour it around over the top of the popcorn if you want, but I don't really find that necessary. It doesn't make much difference is what I'm saying. It will all get coated one way or the other. So now you kind of have a big mess of caramel popcorn. I dropped them on the floor, throw that in the sink. That's really hot. Now I'm going to take it over and put it on my pans and then like sprinkle it with salt really quickly. So let me move fast. Kind of taking like half of it and putting it on one pan, and there's still like a blob of caramel in the bottom of my stupid bowl, and it's still really hot, so it will incorporate with the popcorn if you can get it on it. This is also how you make popcorn balls, guys. So if you're one of those people who likes to give away popcorn balls at Halloween, this is how you start. As you can see, the caramel's already starting to like caramelify. It's solidifying down here in the bottom of this bowl. So just spread it out as quick as you can. And it will take about an hour or two for this to totally cool. So don't get ahead of yourself and just start wolfing it down. It will burn your mouth. Like it's all over my hands and burning my hands. So taking my sea salt and I'm sprinkling it liberally over the popcorn. Sea salt has a milder flavor than other salt, so you're going to want to use it, okay? Don't be shy. We all like salted caramel, right? Okay, and also because you're going to add some chocolate and stuff, and a lot of the salt will like be left on the trays. So, whew, okay. Now I'm going to heat up my chocolate and we're going to drizzle it. But first I'm going to take my spatula and just kind of spread it out a little bit more. So I'm going to get my chocolate melted, get my popcorn spread out a bit more, and I will be right back with you guys. See you then. All right, guys, to melt your chocolate, I put about a cup into a bowl, and I'm just 30-seconding it, and I will stir it between and until it's smooth. You don't want to overheat it because then it will seize, but don't underheat it either because then you'll have chunks of chocolate, which may be a good thing, but you know what I mean. Hey guys, I'm back. My chocolate is melted. I did 30-second intervals until it got pretty smooth. And then I did 15-second intervals. I just didn't want to overheat it. There's still a little couple chunky places in there, but they will incorporate into the rest of that chocolate while I'm stirring it, and they will melt. So, a lot of people will tell you do not use a microwave to melt your chocolate. I say if you have a microwave, go for it. Who cares? And I'm not usually a big proponent of the cup with the baggie in it, but since this chocolate is warm, and I don't really want to chance holding it in my hand, which I can do, but takes some panache that I'm not feeling this week. So we didn't put the sprinkles on yet because I don't want them to stick to the caramel. I would rather them stick to the chocolate, if that makes sense. Once this is totally cool, you just kind of like smash it to break it up. Yeah. And if you're going to make popcorn balls, look at that, it's perfect. If you're going to make popcorn balls, please, for the love of God, use gloves and form those bad boys while the caramel is still warm, so they will stay. And not dirty. All right, so kind of wiggle your bag until your chocolate's all in one corner. And then you're not going to cut very much. Just see where that little air bubble is. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a tiny little air bubble. I'm just going to snip right to that air bubble. Now, to chocolate these, go freaking crazy. You can do this however you want. Ain't nobody telling you what you can and can't do. I like to make it kind of pretty. You don't have to make it pretty. You can make it messy. You can make it not messy. You can, I don't care. Like, that's you. It's all you. Thin ribbons, thick ribbons. It's all in how hard you squeeze that bag. I like to go two directions and then swirl it around. So when because there's not going to be any chocolate on the bottom of this. So when I break it up, like you really have a good amount of popcorn with chocolate on it and a good amount of popcorn without. It's a nice balance. Don't ask, that was one of those not totally melted wafers, but I didn't want to make it so hot that it burned my hands. So we can add a bit more over here. And now for our sprinkles. Now last time I did this with chocolates, like regular milk chocolate and white chocolate, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't really like I had to thin it with coconut oil to get it like thin enough to pipe. And I was not a fan of the coconut flavor. Yeah, I could taste it. It was not my favorite. So it was good. Like, it did not diminish the total unbelievable yumminess of the popcorn. Don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't a flavor I wanted back in my mouth after I had eaten some of it. Like, I could have eaten a lot, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't my favorite ever. I'm gonna use about half a jar of these sprinkles, I think, because it's a lot of popcorn. And then I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna box it up and ship it off. Yes, I've had requests for popcorn. I know, it sounds so crazy. Do I sell it to the average Joe? I don't. I didn't sell it. Somebody just asked me for it, so I made them some. Oh, maybe a little more over here. I don't think this popcorn has enough. Bam. We are done. And there you have it. 2 giant trays of candy popcorn. You can call it funfetti popcorn because it's all bright colored if you want to, but you can add the white chocolate, do about half as much milk chocolate, and then do the white chocolate and add about a teaspoon of coconut oil to it. And you can use it the same way. You can just put it in a Ziploc bag and snip the tip and drizzle it. But if you do that, only do it about half. You know, use half as much milk chocolate and then half, like, equal parts white chocolate, but like only do it on half just in case you don't like it. I made the mistake of putting it all over it while it was edible, and it did add a little je ne sais quoi. Coconut is not my favorite flavor in the world, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up a piece of this from right here and put it in my mouth. You guys, it's sinful. Sinful. This is gonna make me fat. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a huge thumbs up. If you really liked it, hit subscribe. The button is around here somewhere. It's gonna pop up. Check out some of my other videos. I have a bunch of stuff that I just kind of threw together and it came out really well, so I shared it. Again, it's gonna pop up here in a minute, or it's up there now. So leave me a comment. Let me know whether or not you liked it, what changes you made. I would love to see what alternatives you guys come up with for this. And remember, if your sugar goes back to sugar, just add some water to it and turn the heat up to high. Redissolve it and then turn the heat up to high and you'll be fine. This caramel is perfect. It's stringy, it dried perfectly, it's great. So until next time, I guess if you guys didn't like this video, we always have, you know, next time. So until next time, you guys keep baking, okay? See you then.